Peeper.
People, oh my god. I have a reaction image of that particular guy. It's not
Alright, hello, good evening, travelers and adventurers. Welcome to tonight's episode of Roll for Your Lives. You fools!
Yes!
Yeah, I don't know if we
I'm
should.
not merely a fool. I am the biggest fool there ever was.
You know what? Own it. I like it.
So true.
Live your truth.
The silliest man to have ever lived.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Audio levels sound good, by the way. I didn't hear numbers though.
Oh, I'm doing good.
You doing
How's
good?
that sound? Test.
Cool. You're good. You are good.
Thank you. Thank you so
Excellent.
much.
Hello
You're
and
better than
welcome,
good.
Paper and Gruta.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome. Paper, what do you mean, Paper? Did someone say shots? Does that mean you want us to discuss the saving throw creep show? We have to go over the rules of the saving throw creep show?
Did we have a redeemed shot for this session too? I thought that we
We
saved.
still have that first person to roll a natural one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
what it
Good
is.
call.
That never
there's
got
something
used
that's getting carried over from oh, that scared the shit out of me. Thank you for the jump scare. I put some
Damn it.
I need to go on the Twitch really quick.
Wait, hold on. Does it play the whole thing?
no, not the whole thing. It's spooky month. Happy October, everyone.
Spoopies!
That's cool.
So, in honor of October, we have some new scary gold pieces redeems that we can use for both D&D and we can use for our scary game nights that we're going to be doing when we play our spooky games,
Etc.
etc. We also are doing the saving throw creep show, and the rules of the saving throw are for every 300 bits or coffee donation. And by coffee, I mean like the $3 coffee, because I think that's the default. We will be making a saving throw, the rules of which are found in our Discord server. And let's just put that in there. Ooh. Boom.
I very much enjoyed the movie night. That was fantastic.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah.
it great?
That was a lot of fun. Did you guys like that movie?
Yeah,
I think
that was my
so.
first time seeing it. so-
Wait, really? How can that
Yeah.
be? Damn.
I don't
Not
know.
everyone's seen it. It's a great
It
movie.
really is,
For anyone that doesn't know, we watched Interview with the Vampire, 1994.
Well,
Mhm.
Audrin, have you seen every movie ever made?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm working on it.
Conduct
Right.
the interview.
Oh!
This started. Let's get this started.
Alright.
Yay.
So because of Zach with the 300 bits, we gotta make our first saving throw. Let me change the counter to
We
1.
must. We must.
Hold on, let me edit this here. 1. 1 saving throw.
This will be a good way for you to show everybody how it's gonna kind of work for this month.
Yeah, so
I
here's
figured I would do that.
Here's how it works. So the rules of the D6 is where it starts. So for the donation, we roll a D6. On a 1, everybody takes a sip. On a 2, I take a potion, aka shot. On a 3, everyone takes a hydrate sippy of their water. On a 4,
Yay.
I, the DM, pick someone to take a potion or shot. On a 5, the chat chooses someone to take a shot. And on a 6, we roll a D20. Whoa!
Hey,
thank you for the
thank you,
5
Gruta.
community subs, Gruta.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. That's
Thank you.
amazing. So I guess let's roll a D6 and get it started. Are y'all ready for this? I'm gonna do it in
No.
Tailspire.
All right, baby.
Get ready. Get ready.
See?
Get ready.
I really hope you have
5.
a potion.
All right, that means the chat chooses who gets to take a potion. So chat,
Ooh.
I'm gonna make a
That
poll.
chooses.
For legal
Oh,
reasons,
God
we
damn
have
it.
to call them
Yeah.
potions.
Right.
Yeah.
Potions.
Elixirs was trademarked.
What
Wait,
about
we're not taking
concoctions?
actual potions that we're making from the stuff under the sink?
All right, let me type out the choices. There's me. There's Audrin. There's Valana. There's Mina. Alvara. Oh shit! I can't make more than 5 responses. You know what? We're just gonna get a majority vote in the chat. Who's doing it?
It's Volana.
Volana.
DM!
So we have a vote for Volana. We got a vote for me. Don't text that number. We got a vote for Alvara.
What number?
The
Oh.
1-800-RAFFLE.
Don't actually text
what
that number. I
happens-
don't know where that number goes.
All right. What do we have right now?
It's a 3-way tie between me, you, and Volana.
Okay, Volana voted for themselves.
But I voted for myself thrice, so that counts
Oh.
as 3 votes.
Where does one find this this poll here?
I
Oh,
tried to
oh,
do it in the thing, and it didn't work. So what we're gonna do? Okay.
Oh, we got another for DM.
Mina says, okay.
Are we allowed to vote? Because that kind of ruins the point of like an audience vote. That's just
I don't know.
like
Are you
table
allowed to
vote.
vote? We never actually
I-
established this.
Nah, it should be a viewer.
Yeah, I was just being silly. Oh, 2 DMs, 3 DMs.
All right, let me go pour a shot. I'll be right back. And while that's happening, maybe
Yes.
y'all can give them the rundown on the rest of the spooky, scary events of the month.
Spooky, scary
Yeah,
skeletons.
so, does anybody want to do? I can do it if I'll just do it. Unless
You can-
anybody
yeah, go
has
ahead.
has a burning passion.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick that one of the primary events is that if you donate enough bits, we will be inflicting Alvara with a horrible case of the consumption, the scariest disease.
Ooh.
Or we will also send Audryn to hide in your closet and scare you in the middle of the night. It's your choice among those two. At 5,000 bits, you get one of them.
He does that to me for free.
That's true. I do that.
Right, he has experience. He has experience.
That's right.
Go on, then. Go on.
So, all right. So here's what we have for the event. We're on top of our normal D&D streams, which are every Monday at 7 o'clock. They start. We're also going to be doing spooky game streams. These include games like Devour. These include games like Demonologist, Phasmophobia is a big one
Amogus.
of those.
Amogus.
We're also going to be
Amogus.
doing scary movie nights on the disc,
Ding
as
ding
well
ding ding.
as some chilling storytelling. So if you have any scary stories, close encounters, weird events, unexplained happenings, feel free to post them over in the chat. And additionally, we are going to have the saving throws of punishment, which we've already discussed, and we saw a little bit of that as well. The rules for all of these, by the way, are posted on our Discord server, so feel free to head over there. The Roll for Your Lives Discord. It's a fun time. It's pretty chill. Chatting, memes, there's a counting mini game, pet pictures. You name it, we probably have some variant of it. So come on down.
And
Yeah.
and pics and recaps of our sessions too.
Yeah, you get to keep up with our sessions as we go here. But speaking of the
Exciting
punishments,
stuff.
I have my shot here, so cheers, everybody.
Go go
Bottoms
go.
up. Bottoms up.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh.
Where's
Oh,
the punishment
no.
shot?
That sound effect.
Now roll a d4 to determine how many health points you get back. Or lose in this
Thank you
case.
so much for the hydrate sippy, Mina. Everyone
Oh,
sip your
Lord.
water.
Okay.
What mind if I do?
Now, I'm sure as some of you noticed, we're missing someone tonight. We are missing our dear Humi.
Humi was the first to be hit by the consumption.
Unfortunately, Humi's not feeling too well tonight, so they're not going to be able to play. But we'll take good care of the character for them in the meantime.
Well, that's a polite way of saying I fired them out of a catapult into an active volcano.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I put a reaction for the chat, and it's going to react in 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, and I hope it's a good one for, it's good timing. I don't
When
know
there was
what's
a,
gonna
oh
be-
yeah, there's timers on some of these. That way they're not like
Oh.
too consistently spammed.
I
okay,
just
now
want to see what it's going to be. What it's going to
it'll be legendary if you chose the vine boom and it goes off right when someone does a mic drop moment.
I'm
You
not
know what I was
saying
just
what I
thinking about?
chose.
What's that mean?
Theoretically, if we all space out the spooky, scary skeletons in the right way, we can make it where it never ends.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Because chaos.
Oh my god.
Because why not?
Oh
The
my
greatest
goodness.
love of my life has always been and will always be chaos.
Will you quit that? I'm trying to focus here.
It's actually really fucking scary.
It is. It's making me jump out of my skin a little bit.
What is that? I
Oh
don't
my
hear it.
god, that's gonna be
gotta-
so fucking
Yeah.
scary when we play
Oh my god!
Freddy Fazbear! Five Nights
Heart,
at
heart, heart,
Freddy's.
Dude, we're gonna be at like an emotional core of the campaign, and someone's gonna fucking play the Freddy Fazbear scream.
I think that's gonna be hilarious. Or they're gonna play the kick.
My father was alive this whole day.
Or it's gonna be a very important, like, quiet moment where, like, Winnie is trying to set the scene. And then spooky, scary skeleton.
Oh
my God.
That's gonna be really fucking scary when we play games, guys.
We're in for a long
Like Phasmo
month,
and
baby.
shit.
Oh my
Oh,
god, that's
gonna be
gonna kill me.
amazing. That's gonna be amazing.
Also, both Mariah and Andy, thank you so much for the gold piece donations over to the viewer inspiration reward.
Wow. One day we'll get that.
And Zach, thank you so
Wow.
much. You got 750 more pieces in there. You guys are getting close to an inspiration point.
I donated my last 12 pieces of gold.
Speaking of which, who has?
Yeah, let's go over that. So, for player inspiration, we voted at the end of last session, and you guys gave it to Alvara. Congratulations, Alvara.
Woohoo!
And we have every week we have a poll in our Discord server for who gets community inspiration, where you guys get to vote for who you think did the best that session. And it was 1-2 Valana.
Yeah, Valana.
It was?
Yeah,
Oh, thank you
Nice.
so much.
there
Wow,
you go.
that's
Great
that's
work.
my first one. I'm so excited.
The fucking vibe boom that goes on. And it
I
goes
really
to
wish
a
that my
Valana.
thing- I wish that my thing went off at that point because of the one that I chose.
When it was Valana.
That's actually fucking hilarious. And just to make sure we've got everything in order, rolling over from last time, we have the redeem from paper, where whoever rolls a natural one, including myself, has to take a shot. So keep that in mind as we play tonight.
I
So,
hope I roll one.
with that being said, are you all ready to continue?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Play the
Alright.
intro reel. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to Roll for Your Life.
Zach, would you like to read off the minutes?
Yeah. So, in the last session, the party searched the hag's hut, finding a hatched trapdoor beneath a fur rug after a brief investigation. After prying it open, Audrin, Alvara, Mina, and Valana ventured down and discovered several magical items that they pilfered, including a heartstone, deck of illusion, a Feywild shard, a candle of the deep, and a bag of tricks. Meanwhile, Alvara examined a brewing cauldron and determined it was an unfinished potion of water breathing, prompting her to, with assistance from Mina, finish brewing the potion successfully. As Valana attempted to unsuccessfully handle a badger named Charles, who appeared from the bag of tricks, the party outside of the cabin, comprised of Numbers, Humi, and Galloway, looted what they could off the hag's bodies, which included a hag's eye and what appeared to be some sort of metal teeth, after which they dumped the hag's bodies into the outdoor pond. After releasing Charles into the wild, the party burned the cabin to the ground, only after observing their surroundings to be certain that no forest fire would occur. Mostly. Following additional conversations between the road and on the road between Audrin and Alvara, speaking of solidarity, and Alvara and Numbers discussing being open about the past, specifically Alvara's past with hags, the party continued to Balredin. As they arrived at the large city, they were overwhelmed with the sights, sounds, and people as Galloway guided them to Lady Thorne's manor, which they took a ferry out on the loch to reach. As they arrived at the high-security location, they introduced themselves to her, although Audrin caught a faint glimpse of red in her eyes as she turned to formally greet them. And that was where we left off.
Alright. Thank you so much
Wine
for the
boom.
recap. So, when we last left our heroes, you had just entered the main hall with Galloway to meet Lady Thorne as she turned to look at you all and say, "Well, I wasn't expecting company tonight, but what all can I do for you?" And she looks to Galloway and she goes, Galloway, you sounded a little frantic on the way over here. What's going on tonight? And she looks to you all.
She looks to Galloway or all of us?
She looked at Galloway for a minute, but now she's kind of scanning around, trying to inspect each one of you.
Is he saying anything? Is he doing anything?
He's like,
Galloway.
he's standing there like a little shy, and he goes, well, I don't even really know how to explain what happened. There's so much to tell. It started. Oh,
Oh fuck!
No.
It's
Why don't we stick with the short end of the story,
Who has the bag of holding, by the way, out of character?
Audrey?
I believe that's me.
Yeah, it's Audrey.
Okay, Numbers is just gonna be looking over at Audrin and like just scanning for the bag.
Galloway looks back behind to Audrey and he goes, should we start with the hard news? Oh boy.
That's usually what's best.
I'm not the best sort to be given the unfortunate news. Not really good at the delivery, if you know what I mean. And then he kind of like he's gonna go up to Gallery and kind of like give him an elbow to the rib, and then whisper like, "You're the one with a good favor. Let her know."
Well, you're the one holding the bad news.
Okay. So he's gonna slowly start opening the bag.
And while he does
Oh,
that, Galloway
boy.
speaks up and goes, you see, there was a little problem at home. Actually kind of a big problem. I'm still not very clear on what happened.
Well,
Sorry.
no, go ahead. No, please.
I was just gonna try and speak up and get a little bit out before the body was taken out of the bag. That's out of character. See, what happened was we were staying in a town, and that town was having a festival, and it, what was it, the Harvest Festival, Harvest Fair Festival,
The Night of
Harvest-
Gala.
the Night of Harvest Gala. Thank you. And long story short, we were attacked. And there were a lot of deaths, and, well, you see, we've come all this way in hopes that perhaps we could find someone who had the magical capabilities to, maybe bring someone back from the dead?
Among other things.
I'm just gonna pipe up at this point, slowly taking this corpse out of the bag, who is in impeccable state, mind you. Via
Well, they're
magical
wrapped up in
means.
like in a fabric too.
Yeah, so and then he's going to he's not going to take her all the way out, but he's going to take enough of this body out to kind of he's gonna look at Lady Thorn with a bit of an expression that says, "I think this pretty much said enough."
So Lady Thorn is just she had her eyebrow quirked at what Valana was saying as she was listening, and she gave a nod. But then as she sees this body start fumbling out of this bag, her jaw drops a little bit. She looks appalled
Oh no.
as she looks at this, and she stares for a moment as this body begins to be removed and laid down on the ground, and she takes a minute and turns her gaze over behind her shoulder to her company behind her and says, that'll be all tonight, Mordecai. This is gonna be a long night. If you would please leave us. And you see the figure behind her nod, and he says, but of course, Lady Thorn. And he vanishes in thin air with a little snap of his finger.
Oh,
With
Whoa.
a little poof of smoke that goes behind it. Kind of like magician style.
Yeah. So I'm gonna point to the body and say with my I don't have my mace actually. None of us have our weapons. I'm just gonna point to the body with my fingy, and say we've also come seeking answers of a sort. We understand there's been strange happenings around the continent regarding the dead rising. This one didn't seem to do that, of course. So perhaps as we work our magic to resurrect this one, we could discuss other happenings as well.
She raises a hand a little bit as she's listening, and she goes, "Now hold on just a minute. Who are you people? Galloway, what have you done?"
He hasn't done anything wrong, really. I promise. He's been very kind to us and has been helping us travel to this great city to seek your aid. None of this is his doing, I can assure you.
Audrey's gonna kind of stand up and put the body back in the bag very gently and delicately. He's not fumbling with it. And he's gonna say, "Your speech true. Galloway showed some manner of courage over in Northolm, as a matter of fact. If it weren't for his help, and for the help of some of the brave citizens, could have been more bodies than just the one that we're talking about here.
Thank you so
Alright,
much for the follow. Sorry,
I
dear.
recognize this is a big favor we're insisting, but it was our responsibility to take care of people that had shown us kindness, and we weren't successful for her, as it were. So anything you can do for us will repay you several times over. We're a capable sort, and we've got coin to our name."
Well, that's a great story you just told me, but you forgot to answer my question. Who are you people? And what are you doing with Galloway? And who is that on the ground right there?
We don't really have a name just yet. And he's gonna kind of give an elbow to Galloway again.
So you don't have individual names?
We have individual names. We just don't have. We're not like.
Well, let's hear them, shall we?
Hi then, Aldrin, Mikhail, at your service.
That's more like it. The rest of you lot?
I point to my shoulder plate, indicating the number. I just say aloud, 127.
Valana?
Alvara's gonna take a moment to sort of stare at her after Valana goes, and let a few seconds kind of just hang in the air before she just goes, with a wry smile, "Alvara."
And Humi's just gonna go. I forgot I gotta do Humi. Humi's just gonna go, "And I'm me."
Humi was a child.
Humi's still fucking disguised as a child. I forgot.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we definitely seem like a really irresponsible group right now.
Oh my god.
For real.
Okay, she looks to the last speaker, which is gonna be Humi, and she goes, "And you brought a child here with you on this mission?"
This one is not as they seem. They take many forms. You get used to it.
Humi's gonna kind of just pop up and go, "Ta-da!" There, I've got their mini with shift in it too.
Oh yeah, I love how Shift is on the mini itself now.
Oh,
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
add the
Wendy.
dog.
Gonna
That's
have the
wonderful.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I forgot shift is here too, because Gonza's not here tonight. Right, so there's also a dog in your party. Okay.
And not just
She's not
Audrey.
allergic.
And not just any dog. So she's gonna look to you all and nod and go, "Well, though these are strange circumstances, I welcome you here. My name is Thorn, Maev Thorn. So, it seems like this is gonna be a bit of a discussion. You want me to raise this body? How long has this body been out for?"
If I may, she's being sustained through magical means, as it were.
I take it that's one of your doing, or is it you, Galloway? And he just kind of nods meekly. Goes, "Alright. How many days has it been?"
It's been 2, right? Out of character.
4.
4?
3.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say 3. All right, good thing you
We
remembered.
traveled 3, but we had the overnight where she was in town and we went
Oh,
to
that's
bed.
right. Yes,
been
I
about
didn't
4
account.
days, yeah.
Yep, I didn't
Okay,
account for that.
4
Okay.
days. So we have 6 leeway. And
4 days, ma'am.
4 days? That means you got, give or take, about 6 days left to get this sorted, am I right?
As far
I
as I
reckon.
know.
Now, who is she? And why is this of any importance to you?
If I may, she's a tavern keep over. Highness.
How'd this happen?
Well, that's a little bit more contentious. We're not exactly sure ourselves. Sufficing to say, there were more spiders at the end of our stay as when we began. Large kind.
Spiders?
Hi, Mom. They showed up in the eve. About 4 or 5 of them, and those they killed, they raised.
Hmm. Now answer me this. What makes you think I have the means to do this for you, especially a lot of strangers I never met before?
Judging by the size of this keep, seems you are a person of strong capability. Are you intending to imply otherwise?
You're assuming an awful lot about my capabilities based off of the size of my home. This takes a whole different kind of skill set. One that is hard to get your hands on and costs a lot of money.
Well, at minimum, we figured you'd be able to point us in the direction of one who could, if not you yourself. And we've got gold to spare.
She sighs and just kind of looks around to everyone, and she has her arms crossed at this point as she's listening, kind of leaning on one hip. And she looks deep in thought for a moment before she goes, "You really think this tavern keep is worth all this trouble? People die every day. What makes this one any different?"
If I may, ma'am, she showed us hospitality, kindness, and she was our responsibility when she died. We were the ones defending the town, raising up arms, and wager to say we didn't do a sufficient enough job.
She looks
I know-
together. Oh, I'm sorry, continue.
I was just gonna say that, I know it may seem narrow-minded or selfish, but we said that we would protect the town. We tried our best, and with her we failed, and she didn't deserve what she got. And there's someone there who she's very dear to, who will be alone forever if we don't at least try to help her, to help them. I know people die every day, and I know that death is inevitable, but if we could just do this one thing, I don't know, maybe I'd feel a little bit better about how much we failed her.
She nods at this, and she looks to Galloway and goes, "You got yourself mixed up in a strange situation, son. You and I are gonna have a long talk tonight." And he nods at this, and he goes, I really wasn't trying to bring any more trouble. I know you told me to keep my eyes out for anything interesting, and this is certainly interesting. Wouldn't you agree? You see her kind of quirk a slight smile at this, as she kind of finds his. You can sense that she just finds this innocence and naivety in him. Just something just kind about him, something humane. And she smiles a little and she goes, "Well, this is gonna take a little bit of sorting. I don't know you people, and you don't know me. But we might be able to strike a deal with each other if you're willing."
What are your terms?
Well, that's something I have to think on this night. I gotta think to myself and figure out what the resources at hand are and how hard this is gonna be for me personally to source out and accomplish for you. And while I do that, I can think of something of importance or value to me that you might be able to do for me.
B?
Do tell.
Well, it might be a little late yet. The details need to be roughed out a little bit, so how about, if you're willing, we can discuss this matter in the morning.
Do you
Ivan.
have accommodations here, or are we to take the ferry back to town?
She thinks for a moment and she goes, "I have a couple rooms I could spare. I'm assuming since Galloway's willing to vouch for you all that you're a trusted sort and you wouldn't betray his or my hospitality. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I take hospitality very seriously.
I hope you do. And she looks to you for a minute, and she looks like she wants to say something, and she goes, "No, that's more questions for the morning. This is quite the strange assortment you found here this evening, Galloway. Anyway, you know where the spare rooms are, but after you show them to where they're to stay, you are to come back down here and we are to have a chat tonight. You hear me?" And he nods and he goes, "Yes, ma'am."
Can I determine whether she's like angry with him or
Roll insight.
happy to? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
18?
Yeah.
Numbers, do you want to step aside with me really quick and just stepped aside?
Sure.
Let's have this little chat. Hello, Numbers.
Hey, does the stream hear us, or do they continue to hear the other chat?
No, it hears us. It's based off of which one I'm in.
Ah, makes sense.
So for with an 18, what you can tell is she doesn't seem mad. She might be a little annoyed, but she seems concerned, and she's confused and a little frustrated and very unsure of what's happening right now. It's not every day that a group of 7 strangers comes walking and asks you to raising a dead body. She has concern for him right now. I think there's a mix of emotions on her face, whether or not she's worried that he's being taken advantage of, that he really knows what he's doing, or if he's in over his head, like, or if he's being too naive. Like, there's a mix of emotions that she's thinking about right now.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, as someone who's like in a teaching position over him, like this is almost like seeing a misstep in your pupil.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, does she fear us? Not necessarily that I'm wanting her to, but a group of like 6, like heavily armored, heavily magical people just entered her castle that she's not aware of. Her being, from my understanding, the head of the first light observers, is it called, the group that investigates stuff. Well, she has no knowledge of us, from my understanding. Is she afraid of us? Is she confident and dismissive of us? What's her feeling on the party?
In terms of like afraid, as if it was gonna be like if you guys were to like have a rough encounter with her, no, she doesn't seem scared of you. She seems quite confident in herself and that she has no issue with talking to people who at least present themselves with at least a little bit of power. She is quite confident in her own power, so she does not seem afraid of you guys at all. She's just more concerned for what her essentially apprentice just did and how much he may or may not have like slipped up in this moment and given away that should not have been given away. She doesn't know what you know, and she doesn't know any of you, so this is just a bit of trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah. Beyond that, can I determine the nature of this room, by the way? It seems like a throne room. Like, where are we exactly?
This is just like a general main hall. It's got places for eating. It seems like it's been modified to be a little bit of a study, where she just kind of sits. You see books kind of scattered about, where it just might be like a place of work and a place of communion.
Yeah, I was curious if I could glean anything based on if this was her study. Can I determine anything about her magical origins, or glean anything based on the genre of books? I mean, does she read like the Magic Treehouse, or what does she got going on over here?
I mean, from what all you can tell with an 18, I'll just say like this doesn't look like it was meant to be a study. This looks like if you were like eating in your den or whatever, and like you just happen to have like your work with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Like you're eating and working. It just kind of
Okay.
seems like general government, like nonsense, like papers, forms,
Yuck.
things to read between. Like she's kind of performing her job while she relaxes.
Okay, so we can't really know much about her then. All right, interesting.
No, but you can tell just based off of her general aura is that she seems pretty confident and she seems powerful.
Wow.
She's a hard-working lady.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll catch you in the chat.
I'm hopping back over.
Hey!
What the heck
we-
was happening over here?
We weren't freestyling in here.
No,
we definitely
not
weren't
at all.
doing that
Can
at
we
all.
hear some of it?
Chaos.
No,
I'm-
no.
We
I'm
were
gonna
freestyling about infinite mozzarella stick. No.
Oh yeah, infinite mozzarella stick. is a
We actually did.
Yeah, it was a good bar.
Word to the beats.
I'm not going to disclose whether I just learned something extremely interesting or not. I'm going to keep it a mystery to you all.
Yeah, we were joking that the DM, for all we know, went in there with you and goes, "Yeah, you don't notice anything like unique or strange, but just sit here for a minute to make them sweat it out."
Yeah, we were just shooting the shit in there.
Yeah, let's just sit here
Nice.
for a minute and have a little conversation with each other. How was your day going? But
Back to business.
she looks to
Alright.
you all and kind of with a dismissive gesture goes, Galloway, as soon as you're done, please report back here and we'll have a conversation about this in the morning. I look forward to, at the very least, getting to know you all a little bit better and getting a better understanding of what we've just gotten ourselves in here that you've brought to my door.
Very gracious of you, Lady Thorn. No, please.
Alvara will feign a smile and do a slight curtsy. She knows how to play these types.
So
Or at least she
kind.
thinks she does.
What were you gonna say, Numbers?
I was just gonna like turn towards Galloway as he is to lead us to our chambers.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You.
And as you do, he then takes you all, and I'm trying to remember how it's built. Right. So he takes you all and clears his throat a little bit, and he goes, this way, guys, if you please. And he leads you all this way.
Why am I sucking with
What are you doing?
nothing? I'm so- having a
Hold
moment.
on. You're gonna do what to that half orc?
Oh, I'm gonna. Never mind.
And
Why
he,
Are we
am
going
I
up?
Sucking?
you're going up. He-
Winter, I'm lost.
Hold on. I see you. Let me see if I can. There you are.
Thank you.
Got ya. So he leads you all past the little main hallway where you pass a couple of these large tables. And he leads you upstairs and he gestures to a few bedrooms that are placed about and he goes, there's one larger at the end of the hall, but there's two smaller as well towards the right end of the hall. I guess you guys have to figure out how you want to divvy this up and share. It's not much, but it's free.
I don't mind rooming with Mina and Humi again in the large room if you wanted.
Oh
That's
shit!
fine.
Where's
Yeah,
I'll take my own accommodations. And she's
I
gonna just walk
figured as
towards the
much,
door.
which is why I didn't offer.
Humi goes? A room with the gang is a room for me. They go over. They go over to this room.
So true, bestie.
Mhm.
You know, not one of your better limericks, but you know, we'll accept it. Humi.
Okay, you guys are soon about to discover why I can't play a fucking bard to save my life.
Is
I-
this a room?
That is, as you approach, Galloway raises a hand and he goes, that's actually Lady Thorn's room.
Hmm.
Which
Goes
room?
in, sniffs the pillow.
Ugh. Oh my
Interesting.
god. And if you do attempt to pull on the knob, you would notice that it is locked.
Oh
I
yeah,
see.
that definitely would be locked AF.
Magically locked or?
You don't know.
Hmm.
This seems like a locked door.
I gotcha.
Um,
So this is a room then?
it looks like that's where you and Audrey are going to be staying, unless Audrey wants to go in one of the other rooms.
No, that suits me just fine. Love Love staying in a room, bunking with my buddy.
Get in the one bed, Arjun.
We'll get nice and comfortable. We'll get real familiar, like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Well,
oh.
well,
Uh,
I'm happy for you two.
As Numbers goes into that room, Audrey's going to like kind of turn back to Galloway. Moment there, lad.
I guess a quick moment. I think she's waiting for me.
Won't be but a second. What can you tell me about that there matron of the house? We he kind of like puts a finger out, just say like one moment, and then he kind of pauses and he says, "You can level with me now. Are we safe under these roofs?" And he kind of like gestures to the like his own eyes as if to say like he observed something about this mentor of his.
Oh, he kind of quirks his head a little and goes, I'm not sure what you mean. This is being as this is a government building for Balverden, it's one of the safest places you could stay. So I don't imagine anything bad will be coming for you guys here if that's what you're worried about.
All right, I'll take your word then. You've been a good stock so far. It's just that I don't want our lodgings to be a pain in the neck, as it were.
Oh, I know she seems a little rough around the edges, but I'm sure she's actually quite happy to have company. Sometimes I worry that maybe she gets lonely. So this might be actually fun, getting to meet new people, and maybe we could all be friends when this is all over.
Maybe, lad, maybe. I don't know though. That's the aristocracy has a way of that sort of has a way of bleeding you dry. You know what I mean? And he's gonna turn and kind of start sauntering back to his room.
Those were really good, Audrin, out of character, obviously.
Galloway kind of, as you go to walk away, he puts his hand on your shoulder.
Yeah.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, "Don't tell anyone, okay? I don't know how comfortable that would make anyone."
He's gonna like turn his head back over his shoulder and he's gonna just say, "No idea what you mean, lad." I'm just gonna walk off.
He like
Just
takes a
make me
minute and then
horny.
like he cracks a kind of like a wry smile and like does some really weak finger guns.
Oh boy.
And he goes, "Oh, good one.
Smooth as butter.
I totally get it. Okay."
I want to protect him with my life.
He's a little baby boy.
And then he dismisses himself and leaves back downstairs. Blech. Out of sight, out of
So
mind.
well played, Audrin.
What was that?
That was so well done.
Oh, thank you. I tried hard.
Now, is there anything you guys would like to do here before you rest for the night? As you were in these new accommodations.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Are you casting
Says
as a ritual
everyone.
or just a first level spell?
Ritual.
Alright.
Actually, yes. So I will sit on the bed and focus my mind for what is it, 10 minutes?
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, for 10 minutes. And wait and see what I find.
So, you sit and prepare for 10 minutes as you gather your items and belongings, and as the 10 minutes ends, a little faint aura pulses from around you, and within 30 feet, the only things that you can detect around you are the ones that you are all carrying on your persons in the room
Alright.
around you.
Okay. And I'm too scared to leave the room right now, so I don't want to get in trouble since we're staying here for free, so that's it.
You're gonna get us in trouble!
Then in that case, I will probably lay back and snuggle with this wonderful bear rug on top of the bed.
Bear blanket!
Mina would like to make a small nest out of like pillows and such, just in the corner of the room. Like,
And a
on the
nest
table.
you shall have.
Alana will offer her pillow.
Oh,
She's perfectly
you.
fine. You're welcome.
Mina just like dives in. You can't see her anymore.
Oh.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do before you end the night?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you would mind.
Who would like to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, mine's not too long. Is this candle black, the one in front of me?
No, it's just a candle.
Alright, I'm gonna take it, remove it from the table. Let me ask you this actually first. Is this table like the size that it actually is? It's like this large table,
It's like more supposed to be like a bedside table, you know what I mean?
like a nightstand?
Yeah, like a nightstand.
Alright, then never mind. I'm gonna leave it on the table and go to the ground. I'm going to, because it should still be a new moon for 2 more nights. Cass, I'm gonna try to reach out to my patron again with disadvantage, because I'm missing that component we talked about. Just given in light of like the recent events involving certain parties, I want to see if I can talk to her about that or communicate with her about it.
Give me one moment. I'm just looking up exactly how long a new moon lasts for.
Yeah, it's like 3 days. I just looked myself.
Let's see. So I know
Oh,
full
isn't it-
moons are very short.
Audrey and I are sleeping like the grandparents from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like on opposite ends.
Whatever. It's not like I wanted to spoon or anything.
Aldrin, I feel like you would know this offhand. Moon cycles?
What as far as like how long a single phase lasts?
Well, how long each phase lasts, yeah.
I'd say about. Here's the thing. Because technically speaking,
Because technically a full moon only lasts 1 day, so I'm trying to figure it out.
no, because it's literally at like a full moon is like strictly at maximum illumination. It goes by, if I'm not mistaken, by percentage illumination rather than it does like what it looks like. So at most I think 2 days. I think 2 days. But I could be wrong.
So we'll
this
say
is more
a new
Google question than
moon.
it is
We'll
me.
say a new moon lasts 2 days and a full moon lasts 2 days.
Okay, I'm gonna try to cast this then. Because yesterday
Especially
was
because like
the other
a new
one.
moon is very strictly like 0% illumination. The moment there's even 1%, that is a crescent of some kind.
Yeah, it immediately changes, which is it always confuses me. Thankfully,
From
that
what
was
I'm
never
saying-
a question in my fucking astronomy class that I took in college. I'm sorry, Mina, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think it only lasts like 1 day per cycle. It's like a 30-day cycle, or just slightly under 30 days.
Well, yeah, it's over
share
like the
this
course of
right
30
down.
days.
So I think it only lasts like 1 night per phase.
We'll say
I think it's 2. I'm gonna send a chart I found online as well.
we'll just say for the sake of the campaign that it'll last. A full is 2 and a new is 2.
If you look at 14, 15, they're
That
both
isn't-
fully blacked out.
Let's not get too hung up on moon phases.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
it's really not that important. I'm just trying to make sure that this is all well and good. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're attempting to invoke your patron.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my hand and just draw the ink patterns using obviously the tattoo she has as the ink. And she's just gonna draw her little ritual circle on the ground and try to evoke or invoke, however you want to put it, her patron.
And what reagents are you using for this?
Well, I don't have the black candle, which I think was the thing we talked about.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna roll with disadvantage if that works.
Alright, so make a charisma check with disadvantage.
Would the candle of the deep act as a black candle? Because it's technically black.
It's
I
a
was
black
thinking
candle.
that, and we left it on the fucking cart.
Did we leave it on the cart?
Yeah.
I said that last session,
Okay.
and I shouldn't have.
Vara's just been holding this candle this whole time.
Certainly couldn't go in the bag.
Well, it's not that one. It's gonna be the low one.
So a 7?
Yeah.
Okay. So you sit. You're doing this on the ground, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sit with your circle on the ground, and as you begin to draw the symbols with the ink, realizing that you're missing a couple components for this, but still, you're pushing through trying to make contact with your patron. And as you focus your mind, and almost in like a meditative state, this trance almost takes over you. As all of the images and the things that have happened on the days past, with the fights with the hags, with the dreams from the night before, they all begin to meddle and twirl into your mind. And eventually, it just fades into an empty blackness. What are you trying to ask during this contact? As you begin to focus.
I just want to ask, are we safe here?
It takes a moment as you're focusing. And the emptiness that you see in your mind's eye as you sit and wait. And you wait what feels like minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but eventually, images start to form within this darkness. Swirling leaves and blowing trees. You can begin to hear them within your ears, just deep in your mind. Almost as if you're standing in the middle of the Feywild once again. And you feel a warm breeze caress your skin that you haven't felt in quite a long time. And you get a sense, with the faint giggles of fey creatures in your ears, that things will be alright here. We're safe.
Okay. Anything else after that, or I assume it ends there?
It slowly fades out, and you refocus and find yourself back in the room in which you started.
Okay. Alvara is going to take like a spare linen if she can find it and sort of wash up or do her best to wipe up any residual ink from the circle, and then she's going to since she only needs 4 hours of sleep while trancing, she's probably just going to spend a little bit of time up studying and, you know, looking over various magical manuscripts and, you know, scrolls that she has. And then that'll be, after that, she'll trance to bed in like 4 hours.
Okay. Audrey,
quick.
you had something you wanted to do?
Yeah. While Numbers is preparing to
You're gonna have a pillow fight?
yeah. No, he's gonna take off his jacket, and as his nightly kind of routine, he takes his jacket off, lays it on the base of the bed, and puts his blade leaning against the backboard, just which at this point is just a dagger, but still it's something. And then before he does that, he gets up, kind of kneels down by the door, kind of looks under to see the distance between like the floor and like the lowest point of the door, and then he takes out of his jacket pocket a small bit of a small spool of thread and a little silver bell, and he's going to tie the thread across the floor with the bell at the bottom, and then he's going to tie the last little bit of it in a clove hitch against the doorknob, and then he's gonna look over his shoulder, and he's gonna look to Numbers, and he's gonna say, "You ever been on the sea, Numbers?"
Most likely. I seem to have a faint memory of it. Not in a boat, mind you. Why do you ask?
It's not something a man usually forgets, but I'll give you a pass this time. I ask because, well, when you're on the sea, you get used to everything within a certain number of miles trying to kill you, if you know what I mean. Well, that's a habit that's hard to drop. So, I hope you'll forgive me being a little bit on high alert.
Was this just a little, like, ringer for if the door opens, like an alarm?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Interesting. Well, Audrin, we're in unfamiliar territory. I can't say I blame you. Although the Lady Thorn does appear hospitable. You never know with these government types.
You've got a funny way about you. I like that. And then he's gonna hop into bed with his head on the opposite side of doing a Grandpa Joe Willy Wonka style thing that he was just being described. He's gonna say, "Hope you don't mind the scent of feet. Sleep tight, you."
You as well.
Alright. So you set up a little silver bell alarm at the edge of the door. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do?
I just want to say that if you watch Willy Wonka backwards. It's about an old man that eats too much candy and has to lie down.
That's really good.
I've never thought about it like that before, but you're right. When you're right, you're right.
No, but that's it.
Okay. So, soon, as you guys all get settled into this temporary setting with these pretty nice sheets, actually, they are soft satin, high thread count, I might add, with a nice downy comforter and soft pillows. They are quite comfortable, and Mina, with what you can gather from the pillows and items in this room, you've got yourself quite the cozy little nest here. It is very soft. And, as you all settle in for the night, sleep surely finds you. And we're going to take a 10-minute break
Yeehaw.
before we continue to the morning.
Honk shoe. Honk shoe.
You're going to get some honk shoes, some me's.
I can't do it that fast.
So, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to take a snack break, pee break, smoke break, whatever it is you gotta do. Take the 10 minutes to do it, and we're going to reconvene right here.
Hooray!
Alright.
Yeah.
Woo! BRB.
BRB,
too.
everyone. I'll actually be here for a minute before I get up and do what I need to. I'm going to sit here and chat with you guys. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'll be right back as well.
Okay, I'm okay. How you, DM?
Doing alright. It do be Monday already.
Ugh, it's Monday.
So,
All day.
quite sad, actually, that it is Monday.
Any
What
any reason besides the typical?
No, just I didn't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
What if you ate your workplace?
I've considered it. I've highly considered it.
You know, bricks are nice and crunchy. Siding and wires got that nice, like, little metallic bite to the end of it.
Drywall melts in your mouth.
It really does. Quite delicious.
Describe the
Carpet
flavor of
is nice
drywall
and
to me.
thick.
Dry.
Chalky.
Dry and
Have
chalky.
you ever had chalk before?
You love the model. Thank you. Oh yeah, this is the first stream where I've got my new model out.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, did you just ask if I've ever eaten sidewalk chalk?
Yeah, have you ever had chalk before?
No.
It is a nice
Not
melon.
necessarily like sidewalk chalk, but have you ever had like the antacids that are just like calcium,
Oh, so just like Tums?
unflavored, but unflavored?
I've never had an unflavored antacid.
Yeah, well, it's basically that with a little bit more of an earthy taste.
Huh. What are we talking about again?
The taste of drywall.
Oh, right.
Things that make you say, ew.
Oh. I got a
But it
fun
actually
question
does dissolve in.
that isn't about the flavor of drywall.
Lay it
What
on
are
me.
you guys gonna be for Halloween?
Oh, great question. Yeah. I don't know. I prepped a Bob the Builder costume a year or 2
Ooh.
years or something ago,
I
and I
remember
like
that.
never wore it. Or
That
like
could
I
be a good
wore it. Yeah, I wore it and I took a picture and I took it off. Maybe I'll do that.
I used
the
to
builder.
making Halloween costumes, but I just haven't had the will to put anything together for the past couple years.
That's understandable. Plus, it's like there's so many options now that it just feels overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. And then the day comes and you're like, I have nothing. And you're like, I will do it next year. And you repeat that cycle.
And then it just never happens.
Back.
Well, Gruda said they are considering Phantom of the Opera, which I would like to throw out is one of my
Ooh.
favorite musicals.
Phantom of the Opera is fantastic.
It is a wonderful production. I don't know what I'm going to be this year. Zach, what are you being for Halloween?
I'm not sure yet. I have an idea, but
Well,
no.
Or do you want it to be a surprise?
No. No, I'm just kidding. I just need to finalize it. I'll leave it a surprise until I actually do know. And then
Understandable.
We'll all see, my pretties.
Audrin is trying very hard for us to do some kind of Sonic the Hedgehog themed costumes.
Yeah, ironically.
Is it though?
I don't know about how hard he's pushing at this point. I really don't know.
Here's my issue, and it's my hot take, is that I fucking hate
Damn.
Say it ain't
Like,
so.
I do it for memes, but I was never a fan of the series. I played a few of the games and I couldn't get into it. The only thing that kept me coming back was Rouge the Bat's big titties.
TP Garden. I played the Game Boy one, like Sonic Advanced, I think it was called. Beat
That one's not bad.
And then I played like Sonic Adventure 2 or whatever the fuck the one is. I played a couple hours of that, just because the opening level for that is like iconic. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. That's Escape from the City.
Mm-hmm.
How could I not play that?
Fond memories. Thus spawned my fear of massive trucks.
What was everyone's first video game they ever played?
The first video game, like, ever?
Yeah, like that you ever invested time into.
I have 2.
You have 2.
I also
Yeah,
have two.
'cause, like I got them around the same time, and one is like my legit answer, and one is like my actual kind of serious answer. So the first game I ever played was on PlayStation 2. I was 5 years old. Donald Duck Going Quackers. It was actually a pretty good platformer. Like, it was decent. But the real game that I invested a lot of time into, also on PS2, was Jak and Daxter. So it always
Jak
holds
and
a special
Daxter
place
was
in my heart.
amazing.
So fucking good, dude.
That was by far my favorite
So
game.
good.
Did you ever play the other 2?
I did, actually. I played 2, and then I probably a couple years ago, I played and beat 3.
3
Which
was
is,
so good.
Ties up the saga, yeah. I didn't
Did you know
beat 2,
there's actually a 4th? Well, technically 5. Because there was Daxter for the PSP, and then there was a 4th one that came out that's kind of weird, and it's broken up into a bunch of little different islands. Pretty interesting.
Interesting.
I think mine was probably Melee.
Melee!
Fantastic option.
The first game I seriously invested time into was probably Pokemon Silver.
Ooh, that is
Fair
good.
enough.
I was really young, but holy shit, Pokemon has had a grip on me ever since.
Well, you get to collect little guys.
Yeah, they're little friends. Who doesn't like little friends?
Who doesn't like collecting friends inside of a little box?
Exactly. Gerda said Age of Empires was their first.
That is another fantastic game.
I've never played
That's
it.
good. PC gaming for me probably didn't come seriously until about freshman year of high school, but ever since then I've kind of been that's been my primary mechanism for gaming. My primary conduit.
I will agree with that. For the vast majority of my life, I focused on PlayStation games, up until my first year of college.
GameCube supremacy.
GameCube was so good. Didn't it not do super great though?
Ooh,
I
I don't
remember
know.
hearing that.
did
I
great in
definitely
my
didn't
heart.
play video games when I was little.
But then what was your first game? Stardew Valley?
No, my first game was, I did play some, but on my DS. I had a DS. So my first video
Best
game
handheld.
ever was probably maybe the first Animal Crossing or the first one of the earlier new Super Mario, or not new, but Super Mario Bros. I'm trying to think.
Ooh, Super Mario.
Because I probably would have been 11 or 12, maybe. But I either got 1 hour of TV time or 1 hour of DS time a day, so.
You chose to play Scrimmy Bingus
I chose
than Nintendo DS.
You know what I didn't realize until I looked up if GameCube like did well, is I didn't realize it wasn't discontinued until 2007. It feels like it was so much longer ago.
Yeah, it does. Holy shit.
I think my first PC game was World of Warcraft, honestly.
Don't get me started on World of Warcraft.
I played it on
I'm
my
back.
shitty old laptop. Oh.
Derek, first video game that you like seriously invested time into.
The first video like that I like really got obsessed with was probably Kingdom Hearts.
It's a good one.
I was like,
Silence.
I like Kingdom Hearts.
No, it's
I think I was
it's
4.
good. It's good.
Yeah, I think it was 4,
What?
and 4 or 5 or something like that. And yeah, that was like one of the first games that like we had for the PlayStation 2.
How were you that young when it came out? Because I was not that young when it came out.
Came out in 2001, 2000.
No, it didn't.
Am I wrong?
Kingdom Hearts came out in 2002. You would have been like
5 or 6. Yeah.
5 or 6.
Oh
yeah.
my god, it came out so much longer than I thought.
WoW is a drug.
WoW is a drug. I played that game for 10 years.
The first time that these guys actually introduced me to WoW, in the first 4 days, I put 72 hours into the game.
You know what he did to get to level 60? All he did was go around and fucking mine.
Yeah, I went around mining nothing but, what was it, copper.
You didn't even
For-
quest, you just went and got
I
copper
didn't do any
ingots.
quests. No, not even copper ingots. I just ran around collecting copper until my bags were full. And then I would dump it off in my bank. And then not even smelt it, I would just go out and collect more copper.
You know, that hurt my soul back then, and it still hurts now.
Level 60, nothing but mining.
God, there should be an achievement for that.
PS2 wasn't discontinued until 2013.
Yeah, PS2 survived
Yeah.
for a while.
It had a long run. I remember that.
Well, because when you think about it, the PlayStation 2 was a very advanced system for its time.
I fucking loved my PlayStation 2,
Yeah, it was
man.
pretty big. I have one in my living room right now.
I still got my original
I have one on my shelf right now, right next to my PlayStation 3.
All right, is everybody back?
I think so.
No, I
Oh.
don't exist.
Alright, we gotta wait for Andy to exist again.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
Oh,
Welcome back.
that was fast.
Sometimes I just pop in and out.
Okay, roll call.
Yeehaw!
If you're not here, say something. Yeah, we're good. I think.
Alright, are you guys ready to get started into the next day?
Yeah.
I hate waking up.
Yep.
Both in game and in real life?
Yes.
I feel that. So,
The concept is just not fun.
no, the concept is terrible because then you have to go to fucking work. So, slowly but surely, as you all settle into this new domicile, sleep finds each of you. Alvara, you only need about 4 hours of rest, so for the rest of the time, what do you spend your rest of the night doing?
Yeah, so like I said, I was just kind of looking at magic tomes that I have on my person, little scrolls. There's one in particular I'm really staring at, trying to decipher. Can't really figure it out.
What is everyone's passive perception?
18.
17.
13, but I'm awake.
Hold on, I will check. As soon as my character sheet loads in Tailspire, which seems to be taking quite a long time to do so. Okay.
Uh-oh.
18 as well.
God damn, really?
Yeah, I've got expertise in that.
Alana, you're passive? Oh shit, is
Hello?
Volana not back?
Oh, she was, and then did she leave again?
What's
Oh.
happening?
I hear you like briefly.
Yeah, I
Can
heard
you
that.
hear me?
I can
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Okay, I think I had myself muted. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
You're good.
How do I find out my path? Is it 10 plus your...
It's 10 plus your
It's your wisdom, right? Your wisdom
Uh,
modifier?
your
Okay.
perception bonus.
Yeah,
I
your
think it-
perception modifier.
Oh, that's just a good old 12.
Okay. And I don't know what Humi's is off the top of my head, unfortunately.
We'll call it
Well,
a 11.
So Humi for the night is just going to shift back into the child and curl up with Shift, the dog, which Lady Thorn didn't seem to make much mind or notice of. There were more pressing matters at hand, so they are just kind of snuggling and sleeping.
That's cute.
Mina, Numbers, Audrin, and Alvara, since you're awake. At some point in the night, maybe a few hours after you all retired for the evening, you do eventually hear separate footsteps come up the stairs in which you came from towards that direction. You hear them because this is like a marbly stone kind of surface, so it kind of makes that little tapping sound. As you hear them quietly make their way to the end of the hall and softly creak open a wooden door, close it. Also, throughout the night, you occasionally hear other footsteps over on the balcony, as there are a couple guards posted.
Hmm.
Really, that means we're more safe.
Mina's gonna stay tucked in her cocoon thing that she made, because last time she went and did anything, she got shot.
Mina did get shot.
you know, took a fucking arrow there.
So yes, Mina's gonna stay still.
Alright. And soon, morning finds you all as you all begin to awaken from your sleep. How do you wake, adventurers?
I have a 14 passive perception.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, begrudgingly.
Got to add that bonus.
I feel like we didn't get in until late last night.
I wake up not begrudgingly.
Oh.
And I wake up with a bit head.
A cow lick.
I feel like
Alright.
Mina would definitely wake up with like a cow lick look.
She might,
Well,
with like that just messy push to the side.
Yeah.
May I just
So-
say, DM, that I love the lighting on the outside of the building, the little flowers.
Mhm.
I have been staring at that all night because I love it so much. Anyway,
Oh, thank
sorry.
you.
It's so cute.
She has a nice house.
I was like,
Give me one moment while I prepare a little bit for you guys as you have progressed to the morning.
Alvara
Question
sort of
for you,
just
DM.
gathers from her trance and sets her push on the bed. She gets up and makes her way towards the door.
Do
that's
the
all.
windows open?
They do not.
Oh. Mina's gonna try and then realize it's a futile endeavor.
You reach out and you try to jostle the latch that's on there, but as you do, you soon realize that it is safe fastened and it is not budging.
Ooh, interesting. Mina is made slightly uncomfortable by this. She doesn't like being trapped inside.
Oh.
Does anyone speak to anybody else as you're waking up, or are you all just kind of staring at each other?
Audrey is still in bed.
I gotta get out of the room first.
Let's say I will awaken, look to my comrades, and just say, "Well, let's get this bread, fellas." And I'll get up out of bed.
I prefer berries, but yeah.
Give me one moment, I'm just preparing some last things.
No.
Oh, how do you open the door again?
I flung my mini. So
I thought I saw something go
violently
flying.
Where
that
did it go?
I am now on the next floor up somehow.
Shift
And
click to teleport.
I cannot get up.
Do you stir Audrin at all as you get up, or do you just kind of leave him?
No, I would have woken up in bed and been like, "Hey, buddy, how'd you sleep?"
I believe in the Saturday for morning numbers.
uh, morning to you. Where do you suppose the breakfast hall is?
And he kind of pushes himself up a little bit, puts his jacket on, kind of pats it down a little bit, sweeps any dust that might have gotten off of it. Then he inspects the threads, and as he does so, he says, "Wager we can probably follow our noses, you know."
For the fruity taste that shows is.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you both, and Mina as well, you can smell the beginnings of freshly cooked breakfast food such as sausages, bacons, eggs, and breads.
Egg.
Hell yeah.
Mina is gonna wrinkle her nose slightly at this.
What's wrong, Mina?
Well, I don't particularly care for meats and stuff. And,
Meats? You smell them? Where?
smells like it's coming from downstairs. I think breakfast is being made.
Then downstairs. I will go.
Okay. So does everyone head downstairs, and Humi follows?
Yeah.
Yes. Oops. I dropped
Down
it
the
too low.
stairs
Down.
into dining room.
Okay. And as you do, you begin to make your way back out through the way you came from, and you soon reach the long hallway that you had soon been in with the red carpeted section and the glowing candlelight all around. And as you come down, you notice tables that were empty the previous night that are now being set by a group of what appear to be house servants.
Good morning.
They smile and nod to you politely and keep their head bowed as they finish their work and soon tidy up and begin to make their way back downstairs.
Or is anyone else down here yet, or are we the first beyond the people preparing the meals?
You see on the far end of the room, towards where you were before, you see Lady Thorn and Galloway standing kind of whispering to each other.
I'm gonna
Like-
approach.
Yeah, I'd like to join them.
Likewise.
They both turn their attention to you, and Galloway smiles and nods at you all. Well, let me turn his torch off. It's pissing me off. And she looks to you all and she goes, "Well, good morning there. I reckon y'all might need some breakfast, so the tables are set for wherever you please. It's only proper to have a meal as we get down to business."
Which table?
Any of the two that are behind y'all.
Will you join us?
Absolutely. There's much to discuss after all. Galloway, get your plate loaded and let's get hauling.
Like that, just
Are
sitting
there-
on the chair.
How is the lighting in here this morning? Is it still dim and dark, or is it like
It's
is
a
there
bit-
natural light glowing in?
There's some natural light, but these there's red velvet curtains that are hanging from each of these windows in this hall that are mostly drawn. The morning light, it's still, just because it's out in the middle of the loch and there's a lot of mist in the morning sun, it's kind of dim,
A little dim.
like fuzzy lighting in here. It's
Are
not
all
like
the-
harsh daylight.
Are all the candles in the room lit?
They are.
All right.
Has to provide some kind of light source in here.
Just give us something, yeah. Avara's gonna mutter to herself about the lack of appropriate lighting in this establishment, but not loud enough for anyone to hear. And then,
Well, as you do
move
that,
to
she
the
actually
table.
turns to you and she goes, "If it's not to your liking, Oh, God. If it's not to your liking, I reckon you might want to haul yourself outside then."
Perhaps I will take a walk around the loch, or this island at least. One of your guards won't shoot me for doing that, will they?
Depends on how you behave yourself.
And Avara's gonna side-eye Mina. Like,
Mina's not.
I
gonna
got
say
you. This was ridiculous.
Are there berries or fruits available?
If you look around on the table, you do see a collection of apples. There's some pastries, like morning pastries. There's a little bit of a fresh apple pie that was baked. There's blueberries. There's also a little bit of like a steamed vegetable assortment.
Ooh, Nina's gonna go for the blueberries and vegetables.
There's Galloway.
He's dead.
He's dead. And where's Humi? There they are. Oh,
You're welcome.
thank you. All right. So as you all, you see the plates are kind of set out on each of the tables. You're free to gather them as you please and take from any of the resources you see scattered around. As Lady Thornton takes a seat at the head of the table, I guess I could. Here, let's just for funsies say this is here. Oh. And this is here, and now they're sitting.
Yay.
Yay. So she takes a seat at the head of the table and sits down with her own glass as she watches you all and waits for you all to settle in before continuing. And Galloway makes himself a little plate as well.
I shove pastries in my bag. Discreetly.
Oh my god.
So,
Roll
Lady
sleight of hand.
Thorn,
Oh god.
while she's doing that, I'm going to ask, Lady Thorn, what is it exactly that you do here? What is your function? Ball-ridden.
What is it you would say you do here?
What do you even do?
What do you even do? As you ask that, her eye flickers for a moment over to Valana, but she doesn't really seem to say anything. Before she returns her gaze to you, and she goes, "Well, that depends on who you ask. However, the Thorn family has been in charge of a bit of Ballardin for centuries at this point. My job is to lead the First Light Observers, and that is the main investigators and observers here in this fine city.
And what exactly do they do?
They are the big guns you call in when your regular city guard can't figure shit out. Just a little more often than we'd like to admit. Galloway would know a little bit about that. He's here on an apprenticeship. I'm surprised you haven't told them much about it." And he kind of looks to her and he goes, I mean, I told them something. And she kind of narrows her eyes at him and she goes, "What do you mean by something?" And then she looks around to you all.
He spoke in brevity about these organizations, but I was curious to hear from the leader herself. Thank you for your courtesy. And she's gonna look at Galloway like, don't worry about it type stare.
She kind of sighs for a minute before kind of crossing her fingers in front of her, and she goes, "It is our job as the First Light Observers and of the Thorn family to keep this city safe in the best way possible, and that is to say it takes more of a discreet and steady hand than some of the other law enforcement offers. We have in our city here some of the finest scholars and investigators that Decay has ever seen, and I am proud to lead them and help them grow and serve this dear city."
Aha, so surely you do have the resources to reanimate the dead.
I might. And I might have thought of a nice little cost for you for such a deed. Now, Galloway told me a little bit last night during our discussions, but from what I gather, this was some kind of cult attack or something. Can you elaborate?
I deign not to assume too much, ma'am, but it does seem that some nefarious sort be responsible for the attack. We are at the very least familiar with the figurehead.
Well, as you know, information is key, so any information you can give me about this specific attack might help me figure out what we need to get this little job done for you. So what happened?
Right then. So Audrey's going to recount the circumstances of their being, like, reawakened in the Abbey, and exchanges with Aranya and the people of the Abbey, and how they came upon Notham.
Yes.
Yeah.
and he's going to then go on to say, we had some manner of trust in the lady, but as soon as we came into the town, there had been a festival that had just been occurring, and towards the end of it, she showed back up with some of the people of the abbey and said something, at some manner of speech given out about death and its place in our in society and all that. And towards the end, she had summoned. It seemed as though she had summoned in the spiders herself.
Well, I don't want to say that cults just kind of pop up like daisies, but they do seem to be. Every once in a while, there's always some kook out there trying to start something, but this seems like it might have been a little more than that. Did you have any kind of name for what they were trying to invoke, or what does this cult serve?
Uh,
I think we did.
Erithic, I believe, was
Yeah.
mentioned.
I've never heard of that. Are you sure
Hmm.
that's real?
I can't exactly say. Perhaps it has something to do with, as I mentioned last night, the reanimation of the dead that appears to be happening across the continent.
Yes, that
This-
is quite the issue that has been springing up around Decria for the past while. Now, I don't have any answers to that myself, though that is something I've been looking into.
Could I roll history to see if I can better remember the events that had happened a few nights ago?
Sure.
I'd like to press her on it as well. You're the
Oh.
main.
12. I mean, you remember well enough the events of what happened. It wasn't too terribly long ago. You remember being there with your compatriots. You remember the spiders seemingly appearing out of nowhere as Arania appeared and made her speech, and some people began to be enthralled by what she was saying, while others began to flee for their lives as a battle broke out.
Okay. Do I remember if she said anything specific about like their objective?
And you don't recall anything about a specific objective other than that she mentioned something about trying to unify everyone in death.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
telling you because you had started saying something.
Oh yeah. I don't know what kind of light you might have observed first or whatever, but claiming to be the foremost authority on investigations in this grand city, surely you know a thing or two. What leads have you?
That's an awful high piece of information you seem to be seeking, and I don't think that's part of the deal we are striking here.
Listen, if we're to help you, we're all going to need to be transparent with one another. Now, Audrin was very transparent with you just a moment ago, so perhaps you would be willing to share a little bit of knowledge with us.
I simply must laugh at the irony of Alvara saying that.
Now listen, you proved to me that you're trustworthy enough to give this information to, and I might just consider. I'm already aware that I think you know a little more than you're letting on. Galloway told me as much last night that he might have slipped a little bit of information to you all, which we are still going to discuss in consequence later, Galloway. How much do you know about this city?
We know only some meager parsings about the way it operates in the five houses or families or some such. Was hoping that you could relay some information yourself.
You don't recall anything that was mentioned or said about what I do in my business?
Out of character, do we want to mention the menagerie to her? I
Yeah,
guess I
that's
can
what
really
she's
answer that out of
implying.
character. I'm
Yeah,
wondering
that's
about
what I was
that.
gonna
Yeah.
ask. I figured that's what she was playing.
Do we still have that note? I think Humi might have it.
Yeah.
Umi has
I
It might
think
be in the
Kumi
bag
has it.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little difficult then. Because Humi just showed Mina and I. We didn't. I don't believe I rolled a successful history check.
No, you guys did. I think it was related to the party, like after the attack, right? That everybody.
No, it was never discussed with
No, it
anyone.
was.
Just,
I think
Was
it was.
discussed,
Yes, it
yeah.
was.
but briefly, and I think primarily with Audrin, I want to say, was the first person whom he told, and then I guess everyone else.
Well, besides that, even Galloway has explained to you all what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
know
guess-
about it.
I guess I would disclose. Yes, I understand you also lead some kind of menagerie of sorts.
You could call it something like that. Now, that's information that does not leave your lips, am I to be clear?
Truth be told, I really don't even know what it is. I'm not from any human settlements, so I'm not familiar with how things are done.
Well, that's quite apparent. It's not too often you ever see a fairy at least once in your lifetime, but here's one right in front of me, sitting at my table.
How honored you must be.
Curious
I'm
is the
gonna
better term for it.
Elvara.
What did you say?
I said I'm gonna glare at Elvara for being rude continuously.
Alvaro just being Alvaro.
Now listen, I've got quite a bit of information at my disposal, but I will only give as such to you if you prove to me that you are to be trusted. And that starts here with this task that you ask of me for reviving this corpse that I have no relation to.
As we asked last night, name your price.
Well, here it is. Galloway, this was something that I was going to assign you to, but now I've got something better for you, and I'm going to give it to this group instead. I've got a little bit of a predicament here in
Galloway
this town.
can do it, then any of us can.
Well, Galloway's one of the best of the best. And he kind of blushes smiley at this. Or, he, smiles and blushes a little shyly.
My apologies for my companion's interruption. Please continue. We're interested.
Well, here's what I got for you. Now, in a big city, I'm sure as you know, or at least some of you know, when she kind of nods to Mina, in a big city like this, there's no stranger to certain types of crime, and that's amongst burglary. It's not uncommon to get a little thief once in a while. However, there's been quite a high amount of robberies within the past, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 months at this point. The robberies that are happening are just unusual. There's one in particular that seems to happen about once a month, and it's for very large sums of gold. I'm talking at least 500 gold worth of gold. Whoever this mystery thief is after... we can't even begin to imagine what their motives are, because there's no trace of this one. We have no idea what we're dealing with, or who it is, or why. And they're starting to drive businesses mad. Now here's the thing. Galloway, while you were gone, just the other night, this mystery thief kind of struck once again in one of the local shops. You know the Seek and Blossom, and Galloway nods at this. And then she continues. Now, this thief has never been seen by a witness before. However, last night, one of the employees was staying late at the Seek and Blossom, and one of the girls was there late as well. And because the employee was trying to hold him up a little bit, the guy... Now this is where it gets a little tricky for me personally. He tried to invoke the name of the menagerie to get himself out of this predicament and get the gold. Now here's the thing. I know this is not one of my own. I've gone and done my own thorough investigation about this. But when that didn't work, we now have a murder victim.
Gasp.
I was thinking the same thing. You just said it.
So now this guy, on top of all these thieveries, has now officially murdered a civilian, and now it's time to bring in some other type of investigation to this. Now here's the thing. We have one witness, and that was the girl that was there that night over at the Seek and Blossom. Her name is Giselle Wedgwood, if you want to try to look for her. What I want you to do is find out who's doing this and deal with them as you see fit. I'm not giving you any kind of direction on what I expect from you. But if you can solve this before the other law enforcement in town does, and before you get yourselves in any kind of trouble for involvement, I'll help you with this.
You are aware that our friend is on a time clock, right?
Then it sounds like you better get started.
Can you clarify the name of the establishment, the Sink and Blossom?
Seeking.
Oh, Seeking Blossom. And
If you're-
where in town is this?
It's on. Hold on, let me look at this really quick, just as the DM. This is what I get for having 3 separate documents going.
It's on
Just
First
3?
Avenue.
Just 3.
While that's happening, Alvara's gonna ask as well. Presumably, there's some sort of magic involved if they haven't been caught at this point, really.
We're unsure, unfortunately. The Last Light Vanguard hasn't been able to find much evidence. This is the first lead we've gotten in about 6 months. But still, we don't have much of a description to go off of. So if you manage to pull this off, I'll be quite impressed. The Seekin Blossom can be found over in the Waterside District, which is close to where we are now. It is the more uppity side of town. That might be your first
Define
best
uppity.
bet for a start. It's where the finer folk, the richer folk, like to settle down.
If I may, Mum, you're asking for our assistance here, and I'm happy to offer it, but if we're going to be starting with a professional exchange, proper business-like, I'd wager it would do you good to start with a show of good faith, and take our payment, revival of our friend, up front, simply because we don't know how long this could take.
I don't give away any goods or services for free. I need to at least know that you're going to see this through before I attempt to even reach out for help on this matter.
Well, listen, if we're speaking honest-like, then I'll be candid. It sounds like you're the one that's in need of help. And we can go to anyone else in the city and probably find some chapel or clergy that can help us.
She kind of looks to you and taps her fingers on the table. Roll persuasion.
Ooh!
Let's
Goddamn.
go.
Fucking go.
24? Alright. So she nods. And she goes, I get where you're coming from, I really do. I know that you've got about 5 days left worth on this clock. Tell you what, if it really means that much to you, and you want it done sooner rather than later, maybe one of the stops you can make on your investigation is over to the North Winds Emporium. Because that is my contact who will be performing this for you.
Hi then.
If you can butter her up and get her to agree to do it sooner, I know it's going to take her a minute to find all the resources for it, but if you can sweet talk her, she might do it faster for you.
Rest assured, Mom, I'm not in the business of negotiating over the life of a friend of mine.
But you need to assure me that you are going to see this through.
Aye then.
As a fairy, I take promises made and bargains very seriously, so I will make sure to see it through.
Can you advise what other locations were robbed?
There's been a handful over town over the past few months. Let's see. One of them was the Beast of Barley. It's a tavern that's over in the north side of town. The Spend and Split. That one I think was hit up a few months ago. Oh, what else was there?
Where's that?
Spend and Split?
Yeah, nice name, by the way.
That's over in the Mercantile Ward. Let's see.
Liam, can you just repeat the two? So the place we're going to is the Seeking Rose. Is that
The
what it was?
Seeking Blossom.
Blossom, and then the other spot was the North Wind Emporium for the revival.
Yes.
Thank you.
And has it always been gold that's been robbed?
It's only gold or platinum. It seems this guy's after a high price.
Did we get a description of the perp?
We don't have much of one. The only one that might be able to give you one is that girl that's still over at the Seeking Blossom.
Giselle.
But
yeah.
she's kind of not talking right now.
Why is that?
I imagine it just rattled her to her core. It's not every day you witness someone get murdered in front of you.
think that should be our first stop. Maybe we can try and get her to tell us anything. Something.
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
Let's say we gotta move on.
Well, if you're done with your meals, take your time, finish them up, and then be on your way. If you wish to leave the body here, I'll keep it off to the side for you and get in touch with my contacts while you're out investigating.
Were it up to me, we'd be heading there first thing, as a matter of fact.
Now, Galloway, I got a different assignment for you, and if you want to stay just a minute, I'll talk to you about that. And if you end up finding out any advice for your friends, be sure to tell them, because between you and me, Ophelia seems to be really excited to get on this case. And you see Galloway's eyes kind of go wide, and he goes, "Ophelia? No, not her. She always beats me to everything." And she nods, and he goes, I know you two have your little rivalry going on, but she's a good investigator, and so are you. So have faith in your friends, and maybe you'll beat Ophelia to this one.
Character development.
This
And
is
Galloway
like his trainer, Gary.
Yeah, pretty much. Galloway looks to you all, and he goes, "Please, you can't let her win. She's always so smug about it. If there's anything I can do to help you while I'm doing my own tasks, please let me know. I'll try my best."
On my honor, lad.
If I think of anything, I'll let you know right away.
So are we heading out now? Back to the mainland?
Suppose so.
After finishing Brecky?
Who just teleported?
Something else I would like to just talk about real quick. On our way here, we actually came across something on the roads. I don't know if Galloway has told you or not, but we actually came across a hag coven that seemed to be harassing travelers as they were on the road.
She nods about this, and she goes, "I heard a little bit of something about this last night. I don't personally have any information about a hag coven in the area. I'm guessing this was a bit of a ways outside of Alredin on your way here."
What was it, half a day? Out of character.
Yeah, I think it was about half a
away.
day.
Yeah.
It was about half a day's ride. We actually managed to clear them out, but they mentioned something about grandsons, but we didn't come across any traces of them. I just wanted to let you know, just in case anything came up.
Well, I can add this to the research pile. Is there anything else you want to add to the pile while you're here? Anything else to look into while you're out?
I don't think so. I just wanted to make sure someone knew about it.
So we've got a cult, and we've got hags. Alright, I think that's easy enough to handle. Worst case scenario, while you're out and about, every now and again you see little job listing boards or little warning boards out and about of things people seen or come across. You can always check one of those and see if there's anything that lines up with your story. Who knows, maybe someone's missing something out there.
That's actually a really good idea. Thank you.
Side quests.
And then as you guys are having this conversation...
Game's really starting to open up. Sorry.
Hold on, I am missing some things. So as you guys are having this conversation, running from the other stairs that are kind of where you guys came from the bedroom area, you see, coming out that running behind that little corridor, you see, let me just find it. You see a small young child come running out. And swiftly behind her is a housemaid running behind her, trying to catch up to her as if she's trying to keep her from interrupting this private discussion. However, the little girl runs forward, and she runs up and she jumps up into Maev's arms. And she goes, Auntie, you didn't wait for me. And Maev just kind of holds her there, and she goes, Oh, Puddin', I'm sorry I didn't come get you like I normally do. I had business to attend to.
Mina is going to speak up and say, "Hi, what's your name?"
The little girl's eyes just kind of widen brightly as she looks over you, Mina, seeing all the bright colors and the beautiful wings, as you're just straight out of a fucking fairy tale.
Quite literally.
And this little girl, she's like wearing a fine enough, like kind of green satin dress. Just kind of like one of those poofy ones that like your family makes you wear on Easter or something. And she's got kind of like the silvery white hair. As she looks to you all, and she goes, "Wow, that's so cool. Are you a fairy?"
Yes, I am. My name's Mina.
Wow, my name's Aria.
I really like your dress.
I really like your hair.
Thank you.
Maev just kind of smiles and hugs her tight, and she goes, "Well, I was keeping this one under my thumb, but this here's my niece, Aria. She's staying with me for a while." And Aria just kind of smiles, and she goes, "A while? More like my whole life."
Oh.
Aria looks to be around like 5 or 6.
This is strange.
Yeah, okay. It's just, hi, child.
Hmm.
Maev nods over to the housemaid that was falling behind and goes, "You mind getting her fixed up with some breakfast while I excuse my company?" And the housemaid nods and comes over and quickly takes Aria's hand as she waves goodbye to all of you as she begins to lead her off towards the other food that is set about.
The other food.
The other food?
Is it better food?
Hell yeah, it's better. Maev then turns her attention back to you all and goes, "Well, as you can see, I've got other matters to attend to, at least for this moment, and I've got some research to conduct. I guess you best be on your way."
Aye then.
I suppose so, though. If I could have a moment, just the two of us, Lady Thorn.
She quirks her eyebrow at you and goes, "Oh?"
Yeah, before we leave. Are we leaving now, or how's this working?
Alvara's ready to go. She'll push her chair up and start heading towards the door, barring any objection or any other conversation.
I'd like a quick private conversation with Lady Thorn.
All right, I will
Request a private audience.
teleport to the dock.
Alright, so Maev steps aside over with numbers if you all begin to excuse yourselves.
Should we go in the other chat?
Yes, we should. Let me just teleport Humi. There you go.
I shall step aside.
Alright, let's step aside.
Hello.
I'm here.
Lady Thorn, I apologize for what must seem an unusual request, but there's an additional little tidbit of information I seek here that the others do not necessarily. It's regarding my own origins, which I am somewhat unclear of. Wondering if you recognize this symbol, and I hold up my shield.
She looks over and she goes, "Well, that's just a symbol of Umberly."
Umberly?
Yes, you're wearing a shield of her and you haven't heard of her?
Please, any information you can provide.
She steps back onto her heel and she looks as if she's lost in thought for a moment, trying to recall some information. And she nods. Give me one moment. I've got to start labeling all of this shit better. So she nods for a minute and she goes, "Well, all I can really tell you is that Umberly is known as a sea goddess, often worshipped by sailors or folk that are just traveling by sea looking to get across safely, because Umberlee is quite known for her evil and destructive powers and having a malevolent force on the ocean. She's not quite seen in high favor.
Hmm.
She's
I
known as the
see.
Queen of the Depths, if that helps you.
Hmm. Interesting. Do you have any tomes on this Umberlee or things of that nature?
I can sift around and see what I got for you. I'm sure at the very least I can come across something. You know what might help you, actually, is I got a couple things for you. While I don't know too terribly much about her myself, there are a couple places in town that might. I can do my own research for you. However, there are a couple places you should keep in mind. There's one of which is the Terrace of Devotion.
Hmm.
That's the religious center here in Balverden. It's not necessarily like a church or a chapel or a temple. It's more just like a big open garden where there's individual shrines for any deities people worship here in this city.
Is there one for Umberlee?
There might. I can't tell you the last time I've been there and looked.
Hmm.
But worst case scenario, there's also another place you could look, and that's actually the Academy and Research Center of the town. You could try the First Light and the NAM.
Hmm. Interesting.
Usually you need some kind of study or affiliation with the First Light Observers to have access to this research hall. However, she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out a similar gold coin to that of the one that Galloway presented at the gate.
Yes.
And she hands it over to you and she goes,
Gimme.
"This may or may not be some help to you, but if you wanted to go there looking for information, you could start there and present this coin when you go in. They'll let you through."
This coin, out of character, by the way, this coin represents the First Light or the House of Thorn, or what is the symbol?
This coin represents the House of Lady Thorn.
Gotcha. Lady Thorn, I cannot express my gratitude enough, and I assure you our quest will be carried out. We will find these robbers and resurrect our friend, and hopefully I will learn a thing or two about my origins as well.
She smiles and she goes, "I got faith in you lot, otherwise I wouldn't have given it to you. Now, forgive me if this comes off the wrong way, but you seem like a bit of a fish out of water."
You could say that. I'm trying to find my own way. These friends of mine have been very helpful in this regard.
Well,
I do seem a little lost.
aren't we all at the end of the day? Well, at the very least, I hope that brings you some peace, and if you find anything interesting, let me know as well. I'm always down to learn some more information.
Absolutely. And one last thing. Can I have my mace back?
Oh, yeah, you all should be sure to pick up your belongings and weapons at the front of the house before you leave. I'm sure
Sounds
that's something
good.
you're going to be needing eventually.
Yeah, appreciate that, Lady Thorn.
She nods to you and goes, "Best be on your way.
I bow out.
Be seeing you."
Be seeing you.
Ew. Alright, let's head back over to campaign night.
Okay.
It was an accident.
We were just talking. We were just hanging out. Nothing important happened. Or anything.
DM, I'm sorry about the
What are you doing?
It was an accident.
That was an accident?
Yes, just ignore the attack. I clicked on it to look at like the different things again. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you can do attacks, and then I just clicked on it by accident.
Okay.
So just ignore that. I'm not trying to attack the guard. Or am
You know
I?
what's kind of funny that I learned? Because Mina is so short, I can actually lose her in the water.
Goodbye.
For example,
So
where
do
is
they,
she?
how much time passes until they presumably join us down here? Or Numbers joins us down here? Does he join us down here?
Yes.
After about 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
15 minutes! Jesus!
It took you long enough, fish boy.
Jesus.
I don't appreciate such a comment.
And I don't
Angry lady.
I don't appreciate being kept waiting, so perhaps we're both mutually disapproving of each other right now.
Oh,
Let's move on.
anyway.
Mina would like
Numbers.
to have been collecting her stuff from the guards
Yeah.
on the way out.
yeah,
Uh,
did we
Gonna
get
go
all our
collect
stuff back?
weapons.
I don't know, did you go get your stuff back?
Yeah, I
We
would have
had my-
liked to have
we
Yeah,
had
gotten
my
my
money
we
knight.
already.
did. We definitely did that. We were saying that after you guys left. We're like, we get our stuff back and head on.
All right, as you all leave, the same guard from the night before, though he looks quite exhausted and ready to head to bed himself, he begins handing each of you back your items, and he nods to Valana and he goes, "I hope that walking stick was worth it."
Rolana's gonna keep up the act and say, "Oh, you have no idea. It's such a bitch to get up and down these stairs without it. I'm so grateful. Thank you."
He smiles and hands you back the rest of your belongings. So, you all board the ferry and make your way back to Balverden proper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Proper.
All right. In that case, why don't we hop on back over to the board, Balverden?
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Are we passing by the area where we left our cart?
Yeah, you'll be passing right by there, and your cart is still there as you
Does it still
as you
have the
leave the
candle on it?
ferry. The candle?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember we left the candle on that cart?
Yeah, it's still got the candle on it.
I'm actually gonna grab the candle as we pass by, and I'm gonna put it on the top of my staff because my staff can have up to 3 objects floating
God.
around it.
Where am I?
So now the candle is just there.
It's just
floating around the
levitating
place.
around your staff. All right.
Yeah,
It's always
Along with,
lit. Keep that in mind.
that's fine.
All right. Now I need to
Yeah.
actually refocus myself around Balverden City and figure out where to drop you guys.
Wait, what is this? Never mind.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I where for some reason it loaded me a little bit further away from like the main entrance, and there's just this stick in the middle of the map that I find entertaining.
The stick. Oh, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I think I see something.
Great stick of Balrodin.
Yeah, it's the. I'm highlighting it with a big
Legend,
circle.
legend has it that Balrodin himself used this stick to fend off a red dragon
This is how you
2,000 years
Hey.
ago.
Okay.
Oh my god! It's
Oh my
Ash!
god, it's Ash! Hi, Ash!
Hey.
Thank you so much for the resub! Hold up.
Good to see ya.
I gotta get the... I gotta... Oh, okay. There's so much to this city. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna start dropping you guys in.
Okay.
Did you guys all swap over to the Balverden map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
Balverden.
That never does not make me want to shit myself!
Guy's big.
There we go.
Alright, do y'all see where you are?
Yeah,
No, I
is
think I think it put me at the wrong gate. Hold up.
Mine
So
still
we-
says
we come
waiting
up-
on GM.
we come up on this gate.
God damn it.
Everybody's here. I'm here.
My
I see
character didn't
Yeah,
pop
Yeah,
out
you're
when I was
here.
waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. There she is. I'm here now.
Are we at the east gate or?
Stop laughing at me!
Double click on your character and it'll take you there
Fine.
immediately.
Thank you.
You wet him.
Hydrate. I have to already use
Hydrate. Oh,
Oh
I need
shit,
that,
there's
actually.
hydrate, but I took a
I
sip
think
of
so.
cider instead. Shit,
That ain't hydration.
that's the wrong hydration.
Hee.
Thank you so much, everyone. I see everyone's been liking our new little spooky sound bits we got for the month.
Oh yeah.
So do y'all see all where you are?
Double click on your character, Aldrin.
Yes, I do. I see where we are. We're good.
There you are.
Okay, as the morning mist... Oh, thank you so much for the community sub!
Oh,
Thanks, Ash!
Thank you.
I love you.
Woo!
39 gifted subs.
We all love Ash, and we all
Right,
love
we love
Gruta,
Ash.
and we all
Ash
love
is-
paper.
Yeah, you
all
guys
love
are all
everyone.
part of the team.
You don't even understand.
We're all honorable double downs.
Lana, are you good?
Yes.
So, as you all board the ferry back on your way to, across the lock towards Ballerton proper, the mist is damp and warm on your skin as you begin to make your way across. It's oddly warm compared to how cold the air itself seems to be getting. But soon the humidity passes and you find yourself back to where you started at the ferry with the stable on the side.
Oh my god.
Put that through your mic.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that one startled me a little bit.
It broke me out of my concentration. So you make your way off your ferry and you're back to the little side stable where you had originally left your cart, And Mina had picked up the candle that was still lit on top of it, and it is now orbiting her staff.
Avara eyes the candle with an envy that can only be known to her. But yeah,
Okay, what do you all do?
guess just heading to town.
Let's go to
Mina
town,
is
baby.
gonna follow because
Oh.
Mina has never been to a human settlement this large and is honestly kind of scared.
Umi is going to disguise themselves as granny apples.
Of course.
Should we
The
start
classic.
at the Northwind's Emporium so we can focus on the resurrection and so they can get their materials that they need as fast as possible?
I would have to agree. Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
Granny Apples comes up and hooks their arm under under Numbers and goes, "Oh, my dear grandson, won't you show me the way to the fine emporium?"
Yes,
he's
Grandma.
here.
Oh, thank you, dearie. You're such a sweetheart.
Avara is gonna say this while walking, but she's just gonna try to keep it in a lower tone, and just sort of convey to everybody. Just bear in mind that a lot of this sort of people do tend to have many criminal contacts within the city itself. Be mindful of what you say and where you say it, because you never know if somebody's maybe conspiring with our target.
Am I gonna stick out too much? You know,
Oh.
and Mina's gonna like point at herself up and down, especially the fact that the wings are sticking out.
Mina, roll a perception check really quick.
Okay. Perception.
16. As you say this, Mina, you begin kind of looking around, trying to figure out how your place in this area is going to affect you. And as you do, you notice that there are some families out and about early this morning, some parents guiding their children along, and you do notice a handful of children staring directly at you from like behind a corner.
Seeing the children doing that, Mina's gonna like wave at them, probably drawing more attention to herself. In all honesty,
They kind of do a little, and then like run back to their parents.
Alana's going to approach her, and I don't know if this would help at all, but she's going to say, "You're more than welcome to sit on my shoulder if you want, so you don't have to fly about the city. Maybe it'll be a little more discreet that way, I'm not sure."
maybe. I'll try it.
I unfortunately don't have any spells that could help you right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna stick out no matter where I go.
Why not? There, lass. We're in a big city. There's bound to be all sorts of strange sorts. I'm sure you won't even get a second glance.
So Granny Apples, with Numbers attached to her arm as she pulls Numbers a little forward and then hooks her other free arm around Audrin's.
Oh.
And she goes, "My two wonderful grandsons. The city awaits us. Now go and get your granny some nice treats, eh?"
All right then, Grandma. Let's make a downtown pace. What do you say?
I say aye.
All right, and then we peruse into the city, heading towards, to our best knowledge, the Northwest Emporium.
Northwind Emporium.
Northwind.
No,
Your
we're going to the
Northwind.
northwest.
No, that's what he said.
Okay.
Do we even know where this place is?
Y'all do not.
No, I was gonna say we gotta get teleported.
Start walking, and we'll figure it out on the way. That's how I usually do it when I'm in the city.
So
Okay,
as you
let's
all
go.
begin to make your way towards the Northwind Emporium, I think let's end it here for the night.
Oh.
That way we can give Humi a chance to catch up when they
Yeah.
join us next week.
Oh yes, true.
Yeah,
True.
that's very true.
And also, you guys don't know where you're going, so
Yeah.
it might take you a minute to navigate the
Oh,
city.
We'll find a guard. We'll be fine.
Yeah, that's not...
Yeah, they're like the Stormwind Guard. Like you just.
Boys.
God.
Oh, that's the fucking yeah.
That's so
Stop laughing at me.
That's a
Oh
gold
shit!
piece.
Paper just donated 2.5k gold pieces to the viewer inspiration pot.
Oh, thank you so much.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you,
Paper.
Paper.
Holy
Oh my
shit!
gosh.
Nice one.
We are very, very close.
Thank you, Paper. So let's get a
Very
round table going. That way we can, like I said, give Humi a chance to catch up, and we'll figure out how to resolve your trek through this large city when we resume.
And everybody do this round table with a good posture because
With good posture, you all. Ingruda donated 54 gold pieces. Thank you so much. All right, guys, good job this session. I know this was very roleplay heavy. I'd like to throw out that since I know this was literally just plot, no one really got a chance to use their points of inspiration, so those will carry over to the next session.
Yahoo!
I'm gonna make a note of that right now in my my document.
Alright, cool. I had like one roll to use it, and then it was like shit.
We also still didn't roll a nat 1, which we still got Paper's thing ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, how many times were things like rolled at all this session? Like 3?
Very rarely.
Yeah,
Yeah, not much.
But that's okay, because that means next session's gonna be very eventful.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Y'all got investigating to do.
I'm just imagining us running away from the city, fire at our backs. Like, how did this happen? How did this happen?
The
Candles
investigation
just
went
sitting-
horribly wrong.
The fucking candles just sitting there. No!
Alright, so let's get a round table going. We'll start over on the end with Audrin.
I think myself, I feel as though I want to give it to Numbers today for being the most, I feel like the most eloquent of the party. For this particular
Thanks.
session.
Well spoken numbers. Alright.
Mhm.
Alvara.
I would like to give it to Numbers, but the problem is I don't really know what Numbers did half the time. Put it in your own chat. So I actually, I think Numbers did a great job, but I'm gonna give it to Audrin this time in a close one. I think he did a good job with utilizing the knowledge he gained at the end of last session in this session, building upon that and his skepticism about Lady Thorn. But yeah, I think Steve did a great job too at his character. So
Thank
Thank you
you.
kindly.
Audrin by a hair. Yeah.
Alright. Valana.
It's also for me between Numbers and Audrin, but I gotta give it to Audrin for just making me laugh really hard during the scene with Galloway, because it was just so tastefully done. And what really got me also as well was when DM, when you said, and he puts a hand on your shoulder and you just completely teleported backwards.
The character just coming back.
That was just really good. That was my favorite.
Galloway
moment.
puts like a 10-foot arm on his shoulder.
That's what I was imagining.
The one thing I will point out that Audrin did that I thought was stinky was putting his feet next to Numbers' face at night. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
think
was
that was
great.
very cool. That was very stinky, nasty.
You're wearing boots. Your feet probably are not
You
great.
think he went in? Okay, well that's probably.
Well, no,
that's-
I'm saying I'm saying when you take your boots off, your feet probably stink. I'm gonna be honest.
Ugh.
Maybe, but they were under sheets. They were just in the proximity.
How
of it.
many pairs of socks does Audrin own, and how often does he wash them?
He's probably got a couple in his pack.
I imagine
So,
him
like,
kind of
they-
like in one of those old cartoons with like the guy that kicks his boots off. He's got like the little hole in the toe. Like that's Audrin.
That definitely sounds like an Audrin.
I got sidetracked to
That's-
talking about his fucking nasty feet. All right, Mina.
Yeah, let's stop.
I'm sorry.
It's also between Audrin and Numbers, but I'm gonna give it to Numbers just because I have no idea what was discussed, but clearly something important was discussed, and I'm hoping it comes to fruition next session, and we learn about what happened.
It's all right. So
Maybe you will. Maybe you will.
we're in a split between Audrin and Numbers right now. Numbers.
I'm actually gonna give it to Humi because DM, you did a great job impersonating Gonzo with the one-liners, and you'd make a better bard than you think.
Oh, thank you, dear. I'm gonna cry. Okay. That means we have a tie between Numbers and Audrin, which means you both get it.
Woohoo!
I planned that.
Alright, so we're gonna have both Audrin and Numbers for player inspiration. And we're carrying over inspiration for Alvara and Volana as well, which means the community poll is going to be very interesting over in the Discord server.
Oh god, I forgot to use it.
Yeah, no, we're going to carry it over into next session
Carry it
because this
over.
was literally all just plot and development. So I
Yeah.
want it to be fair and you guys actually have a fair chance to use your inspiration points. So and we're so close actually to getting viewer inspiration as well. That's so crazy. You guys are about
Maybe
to have a
everyone will
shitload
have-
of inspiration points at your
We're
disposal.
not gonna fail a roll ever again.
Alright guys, so as soon as this as we're done here, I'm gonna over in the Discord server post in the community polls tab a poll for you guys to vote on who gets another point of inspiration for next session. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. This was a fun time.
This was.
Oh,
I enjoyed
yeah.
it.
I know it was plot heavy, but I still had a great time. So thank you so much
Those are
everyone for
necessary.
joining us.
was
Love.
great. I
And
thought you did a
also-
really good job too.
Yes. And thank you so much, Zach, for giving us our first saving throw.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully many more to come. We'll see, chat.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much, everyone, for your community subs tonight. That's so amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Gemma, guys.
If y'all aren't in the Discord server yet, feel free to drop on in. Keep your eyes out for more stream updates as we're going to be starting to stream scary games all month long. And we're going to be doing movie nights throughout the month. So keep your eyes open, folks. We'll catch you guys next time.
Catch
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye, everyone.